The announcement sounds. All staff members to the cafeteria. All staff members to the cafeteria. Emergency meeting, staff members. We look at each other. I think I saw the assistant soup walk in. They're probably going to announce the principal of the school. Myself and several staff members, we finish our dismissal responsibilities and we make our way to the cafeteria. Lo and behold, our assistant superintendent stands and addresses our staff. She thanked our current principal for what he's done, and he formally announced his retirement a month and a half ago. So now was the time. Who would lead our campus? The announcement was made. It wasn't me. It just wasn't me. It's not like the person wasn't qualified. It just wasn't me. Fine. It kind of knocked me off my rocker a little bit. But I said, you know what? It's okay. Let me meet with my campus leader and find out, hey, what do I need to do? So we met and discussed, and he said, you have stellar evaluations, things are going well. Why don't you schedule a meeting with the assistant superintendent? And until that, I said, you know what? I think I should. So I met with her, and she was very gracious. When I entered her office, she was very, very welcoming and inviting to me. I thanked her for her time. So as our conversation began, she began to share with me characteristics and examples of former candidates' resumes. On those resumes, she showed where they listed their impact on student academics, how they grew the reading, grew math. And then we looked at my resume. It read more like a task list. Yes, I had all of the buzzwords organized, developed, implemented, had all of those great things. But I didn't explicitly list my impact on student academic achievement. She let me know that if you really want to be a leader, you need to show how you are impacting academics. I thanked her for her time and her direct information. So I went back and I kind of took a look at what I needed to do. First, I needed to look at what have I done. In my 27 career, I've done quite a bit. I've taught high school mathematics. I've been a school administrator at the high school, middle school, elementary, and discipline campus. I've had the privilege of leading exciting and amazing staff members and growing them. So what am I missing? What do I need to look at? I took away another nugget from that conversation. She said she didn't need to know if I could lead a building, if I could manage a building. She wanted to know if I could lead one. Haven't I already been leading? Let me take a look. As I examined my previous achievements, successes, and failures, I noticed a pattern in my own behavior. Now, let me go ahead and footnote this. I'm a scientist by nature. I taught high school mathematics, but my degree is in chemistry. So I look for patterns. And what I noticed in my own behavior was that I kind of would go about things in the same way. I would set a goal, then I would look for examples of that. After that, I would pray. That's a foundation of mine. I would seek to see how is it going to help me and how is it going to help others. Then I would actually take the steps. And then on my more successful adventures, there was some sort of monitoring process, some way of checking in. And then lastly, I would achieve the goal. I also noticed that the level that I had success or achieved a goal truly depended on how much effort or energy I put towards it. Patterns, steps. I love a good checklist. So then I developed it. I said, wow, there's 6 steps here. And then, let's make it cute. It's 6 M's. So the way I go about things is mapping. Mapping is the process of setting a goal, deciding where you exactly want to go or what it is that you want to achieve. Then you have modeling. What does it look like? For instance, what does a talk look like? How should I dress? What do I look like? Then motivation. Just why? Why am I going about doing something? Who can I help? How can I help? And again, I anchor everything in prayer. Then next I move. I actually make steps. That's the just do it, get about it phase. And after I make my steps, once again, I monitor. I have checkpoints. Hey, does this look right? Is this looking good? How's this coming along? And then lastly, we have the win. Ooh, we're here today. So looking at those patterns, I decided, you know what? I'm going to take my pattern and I'm going to apply it to this school year. And I made a declaration that this was going to be my last year as an assistant principal. I was going to have a leadership role by the end of this school year. That was my declaration. So that's exactly what I decided to do. I set the goal of growing our students in the reading department. The goal was 10% in one school year after we looked at our data. The next thing is I looked at the models. What resources, what things do we have that can help us? What is everyone else's goal? So at the beginning of the year, I sat down with each teacher in the department and we sat down and we came out with a department goal, a grade level goal, and individual teachers' goals. It wasn't anything I had to create. It was a process we already had in place that followed our teacher evaluation system. All I did was make sure I tracked everything that I did. And so then, after we set our goals based upon data, we then looked at what examples do I have. Well, one thing, I had 10 teachers in the department. 5 were brand new teachers. I needed a lot of modeling and a lot of examples. Oh, by the way, I taught math. Remember that? Okay, so back to the story. So I employed district support, literacy coaches, multilingual coaches. We had coaches that came in from outside support contract partners. Everyone who knew and understood how to get my teachers to internalize things, how to apply instructional strategies, then go out and implement the strategies in the classroom, go out and help me and support me with observing teachers. I needed all of that there, all of that to make it happen. And that's what we did. We had planning sessions at the beginning of the year. Then we moved into daily planning sessions in which we looked at our intended objectives and created lesson models. We created this all throughout the school year. But then it was the motivation. Just why do I want to do it? Of course, yes, like I told you, I do want to get a promotion. But I also want to know, am I doing the right thing? You know, that incident with that, it really hit me in my gut. I needed to know that I can put forth quality, that I could grow people. I wanted to know it. And I wanted to know it intentionally. Okay, so that was my motivation, and that's what I stayed anchored in. And I encouraged others. Throughout the school year, we began to look and visit. When I went to classrooms and I saw, hey, you know, you have students that are emerging bilinguals. I don't think we're doing this strategy correctly. I would then enlist the support of the multilingual coach. She would then come in and equip that teacher with real-time strategies to help him improve. Wow, it was happening all around. The steps were happening. As we planned, we moved. As we planned, we moved. I went into classrooms at least once every 3 weeks. I rotated grade levels each week. My instructional specialist went in as we did our little drive-bys weekly, where we just went in and we just checked for classroom atmosphere, following a processes and procedures, things to that nature, because we had to support the whole teacher and the whole student. Monitoring comes. We use benchmarks already in the school system that were established. Our district level curriculums, our campus-based assessments, as well as our district level beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year evaluation of students. And so now, let's roll on to and at each monitoring point, what we did with the teachers is that we went back and discussed their data. We told them how, hey, the students are growing. We're not where we want to be, but we are making incremental growth. And that looped us back to the motivation. Keep pushing, our kids are doing well. Keep pushing, our kids are growing. So then we get to the end of the school year. In our 8th grade, students grew, not by the 10, but by 11%. Whew. Hold on. Not only did our students grow, our teachers, our brand new baby teachers, all performed at the proficient level. Back up, there are 5 performance levels. Level 3 proficient is rock solid teaching. So that meant our first year teachers were rock solid. It also meant that our teachers returned. Because of the support and the love they felt this year, our new teachers returned. Teacher retention, have you heard of that problem? So throughout the school year, I kept going back, looking back at my M's, seeing how it kept me on track and it kept me on focus as to it's not just about the numbers at the end, but everything that went into growing the people that grew the students. I'm so thankful for this process. And I began to say, well, how is it changing me? Well, I feel very confident in setting goals. I also have become extremely resourceful in researching background information. Lastly, then the motivation piece. That's been an encouragement to others. And I think one of my strengths. Moving, well, you know if I show up, it's gonna get done. Monitoring, no problem with the checkpoints. Manifesting, we're gonna win, and win again. Lastly, that promotion I so desperately desired, well, actually I didn't get one within that system. But what I did do was I promoted myself. So let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Kimm Monette, the CEO of Dr. Kimm Consulting. Using the 6M process framework, I support leaders with a systematic approach to designing and implementing processes that create transformative results in the areas of academics, behaviors, and school culture indicators. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.